If you clicked on this video, man, you know what you came here for. We're here to talk about the New York Giants defensive line, and possibly the most exciting part about this team is the defensive line. We traded for a star, we have a young rising star, and we have a top two and not number two player at his own position on this D-line. And we're here to talk about it, man. Let's start off with the headliner, the best player possibly on this team. Is definitely up for debate. Dexter Lawrence. Now, Dexter Lawrence is one of the top defensive linemen in the league for sure. Especially with Aaron Donald retiring, I think it's no debate. Dexter Lawrence is the most feared pass rusher on the interior defensive line for sure. You know, this guy puts pressure on the quarterback every single play, and it doesn't take one guy to block him. You need two or three. We've seen a couple of times where he's getting triple teamed, double teamed, and Dexter Lawrence is a force to be reckoned with. Last year, he put up 4.5 sacks, a year removed from 7.5 sacks, but you don't look at his sack numbers. You know, he's not going to get double-digit sacks. It's extremely hard to do that, especially from when he's playing at the nose tackle position. But you look at how much he can really put the pressure on the QBs, and knowing that, you know, you don't want the center to be in your lap if you're a QB. You know, when you're under center, you got Dexter Lawrence across from you, you know there's a chance that your center is going to end up in your face. And now you don't want that. Dexter Lawrence brings it every single play. And now what makes Dexter Lawrence different, obviously, he's a huge human being. He's definitely one of the biggest people. If you see him in person, he's one of the biggest people. Not only is he that big, but he's athletic. Extremely athletic. You see what he can do against the run. He definitely can move laterally, and you see him chasing down guys to the sideline. Dexter Lawrence is a freak athlete, and I'm glad he's on our team because if we were playing against him, man, who knows what our offensive line would look like. We already know we can't even block a regular D lineman, let alone a guy like Dexter Lawrence. Now, when you look at what we did in this offseason, adding some guys on the outside, you still want to know that Dexter Lawrence is going to be able to apply pressure from the inside. Now, we know we have a new defensive system coming in with Shane Bowen. I definitely expect Dexter Lawrence to still be that same guy that he is. I don't think things will change for him that much, and especially when you ask Shane Bowen how he used Dexter Lawrence, he doesn't normally use, a nose tackle. Listen, this man got his bag from playing nose tackle, and he also got all-pro honors from playing nose tackle. He's going to be playing there, and he's going to be able to put up the numbers and the stats that he wants to. I think he's, once again, set up for a prime year for Dexter Lawrence, especially what we add on the outside. Let's talk about the new addition in Brian Burns. Brian Burns being traded away from the Panthers to the Giants, man. The star, deal for the offseason for the Giants. Brian Burns being on this team. Now, he is a year removed from putting up 8 sacks last year, but he also had 12.5 sacks the previous year. This guy is a speed rusher, kind of similar to what Kavon Thibodeaux was slated out to be. He definitely puts up a lot more consistent numbers. And, Kavon Thibodeaux, once again, entering his third year in the league. Brian Burns entering his fifth. Brian Burns is, ready to have an impact, and I think this is the best chance that he's going to have to put up even more numbers. Not only is he going to be, on this defensive line with Dexter Lawrence and Kavon Thibodeaux, but just knowing there's another guy on the other side that's going to apply that pressure, and possibly you might have to key in more on Dexter Lawrence than Brian Burns. Brian Burns was the number one guy on this Panthers D-line for a very long time. Now he's coming into a team where he's the second best, and once again, maybe they'll sleep on him a bit. Now, he is still the focal point pass rusher. When you look at a guy that's bending around the edge to go get your QB, that's what Brian Burns is going to do. The name of his game is definitely not stopping the run. And when you look at this Giants team, we haven't been able to stop the run for the past couple of years, so you are a little worried about that. Hopefully, I think Shane Bowen is going to be able to supplement that a bit. But Brian Burns is still going to be a player that I'm looking to watch for, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do on this team. Brian Burns is an elite player. He was able to put up numbers on other teams, and like the Panthers, once again, he was the focal point of that defense. Now he's coming on to a team where he's not. I'm excited to see what he's going to do, especially with this other guy across from him, and Kavon Thibodeaux. Entering his third year, man. Last year, Kavon Thibodeaux had over 10 sacks, over double-digit sacks, and that's what you wanted to see. Now, a lot of people, were hating on Kavon Thibodeaux in terms of how he got it. Some of it might have been coverage. Some of it might have been against bad teams like the Commanders and the Jets. But you want to see players take over games. When you draft them that high like Kavon Thibodeaux was, you want to see them be able to take over games. And you've seen that in his young career already. Primetime games and big games, he's able to make some plays. Now, there are some games where he kind of is shut out and you don't hear much from him. It's gonna happen. But now, like the same reasoning I used for Brian Burns, Kavon Thibodeaux is going to be the third focal point on this defense. He shouldn't get that much attention that he got last year. A big thing with him as well, I feel like he was getting held a lot, and I'm not trying to make too many excuses for him, but I definitely do think that took place. So hopefully, once again, you're going to be shifting your focus towards Dexter, shifting your focus towards Brian Burns. Now you have Kavon on the other side. Potentially you could see Kavon Thibodeaux have another great year. Definitely maybe double-digit sacks, and you might want to see double-digit sacks from both of them, Brian Burns and Kavon Thibodeaux. The expectation for this D-line is going to be held on those three guys, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kavon Thibodeaux. Those are guys you want to really see from. I'm excited to see what Kavon Thibodeaux is going to do. Third year on the Giants, first year in the new system, but you see pass rushers eating that system. I'm excited to see what Kavon Thibodeaux can do. Now, talk about the depth a bit. When we look at another defensive lineman that's going to be on this team, Nunez Roches, he's more of a run-stopping D lineman. He's probably going to be the other starting D lineman alongside Dexter Lawrence. Last year it was Ashawn Robinson along with Leonard Williams. We don't have two of those guys anymore, so the depth doesn't look as thick as it was. But I think you're going to see plays like Jordan Riley. Jordan Riley's probably going to be running some plays next year, and definitely maybe you could see him slide in. DJ Davison, still on this team currently. Maybe he's going to slide in and make some plays. The depth isn't as much as you want it to be. But when you got guys like that in the D-line, you're not going to have star-studded D-line everywhere. We're not the Washington Commanders at the moment. And I'm still excited to see what we got currently. Another wild card that's going to be on this D-line is Azeez Ojulari. We know Azeez Ojulari can produce when he's on the field. The problem is he hasn't been able to stay on it. And right now, he might find hard time to be on the field. When you look at who's going to be on this D-line, who's going to be starting, Azeez is not going to get consistent snaps. But maybe this makes it even better for the Giants. Maybe preserve him a bit, keep him fresh, and see if he can come in and make an impact when he needs to. Azeez has been able to, make his presence felt when he's there. The problem is he's not always there. He's always hurt with something, and hopefully he's able to stay healthy. And I'm interested to see how they use him because, once again, I think he has all the talent. The talent is there. He's able to produce when he's there. Now, fitting him on and seeing what it's going to be with Brian Burns and Kavon Thibodeaux on each side, how are you working Azeez Ojulari in? Listen, I don't get paid the big bucks to figure that out. Hopefully Shane Bowen does. I want you guys to let me know, man, how you feel about Azeez Ojulari and this D-line overall, man. Let me know how you feel down in the comments, man. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you brush your teeth this morning, subscribe if you aren't already, man. We're trying to push this content to 10K. And that's going to wrap it up for this D-line currently. Barring any other signings or anything that can happen, stay tuned for that. Mandatory minicamp has been taking place, but at the time of this recording, your boy's on a cruise. So if anything happened, man, I'm not going to have a video out on it until I get back. I'll definitely be sure to check it out if it does happen, though. So y'all stay tuned, man. Like the video if you haven't. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.